Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna pull cards and just get some messages. The only thing I'm gonna start with saying a lot of people are in this cycle right now is we're having some emotional emotional issues. We're having emotions and feelings coming up from the past. A lot of times when we're in this type of energy, we actually see people from the past kind of coming back in our lives or messaging us or things like that, and you might have that happening. But for most people, that's not what it is actually they're popping up in your memories, they're popping up in your dreams, they're popping up in your thoughts, and it's because you're seeing another level, or you're coming to spirit saying like coming to a place of acceptance with the truth you already knew. So if you knew like maybe somebody was manipulative or using you or was a cheater or liar, you're getting some type of clarity or some type of finality to this situation, or this relationship, whether it's present or it's, old relationship, one that you still have emotional connections and ties to, and you're clearing those out as you're getting the clarity and you're getting those answers and stuff. It's almost like you're going to be having conversations with people where they're going to accidentally say something to you and you're going to see the truth of the situation, or you're just going to have like spiritual downloads or conversations with other people that you're going to be like expressing your emotions to, and they're going to say something to you where it's going to kind of click for you. For some of you might be going into meditation, getting direct spirit messages, but that's what it feels like. A lot of spiritual truths are coming out. A lot of you guys who have been in heavy energy for the last like 6 to 8 months up to like a year, you're going to be starting to understand some of the stuff that you've been feeling, why you've been feeling it, what it has to do with your past, what it has to do with like the present, how it's going to help you in the future, and what it has to do with like part of your spiritual path and purpose. But excuse me, most of that stuff that's coming up is relationship stuff. So it could be relationships, like it could be exes, it could be friends, family. It can be like any type of relationship, pretty much is what I'm getting it for. Okay, we're going to pull from the archangels. I actually did like a TikTok a few days ago because this like deck was wanting to come out and I completely left it out. I didn't even put it back on the box. I forgot. So when I don't come in my dining room unless I'm doing putting crystals in here. I should have known this was going to come out, or I'm doing readings. Funny enough, I went to go sit down and the cat came up and started like fucking with stuff. So I was like, all right, we're going to put you in the room. And she actually knocked the deck down. And when I was going to put the stuff up, this card was like popping out. So I should have kind of known it was going to come out, but I like to shuffle it. And I'm like, if it's supposed to come out, it will. Definitely like another like 2 or 3 cards that want to come out. But this 7 of, this one too. Damn. The 7 of Raphael. So this feels like a lot of detox, a lot of chakra energy being cleared right now. So you'll start noticing, if you start paying attention, you'll start noticing patterns and specific energies in your body. So like right now, my throat sounds, I'm not sick. My throat sounds raspy. And it's because I'm actually clearing a lot of throat chakra stuff. I actually woke up yesterday, my whole throat, like neck area was swollen. And as I started kind of talking to myself about like feelings and things that were coming up for me and stuff, you could actually see it throughout the day, literally the swelling go down. I woke up this morning, my face was like puffy. It's still a little puffy today, but I'm actually clearing like this whole area right now. And feelings that I kind of pushed down and repressed and things that, whatever. So, last week I was kind of dealing for like 2 weeks dealing with like, stomach issues and like not being able to eat certain foods or getting sick when I was eating and digestive stuff. And, all that I've been on and off having like, this pain, right? Like your root chakra where it starts like the base of your spine and just almost like this pulsating energy from there. But it comes and goes and it's moving around. So if you pay attention to what your physical body feels like, you can usually attribute it to what energy you're clearing. Now, I'm not saying like you might not be sick, you might actually be sick, but if you're sick, it's because there's energy in that area you're not dealing with. Like if it manifests into an actual sickness and it's not just like, there's like my throat doesn't hurt, it's not hard for me to talk, it's not anything other than it outwardly sounds raspy, there's no pain, there's nothing there. nothing at all. So like you can usually feel the difference between when you're actually sick because it physically hurts, or there's some, pain or whatever the fuck it is, pressure in your body and stuff like that, versus like energy. It feels like when you close your eyes, you can actually feel it. It almost feels above your body, almost external is like where you feel it. So if you start paying attention to that, you're going to kind of see which energy areas you're clearing. If you don't really know about chakras, you can always look it up online. Like if you can channel, but if you don't channel or you're, uncertain, find somewhere that is intuitive. But I'll give you, if you want, like just, I'm asking like you guys are listening to me and you're going to answer me, but technically I can hear people when I do readings as you're watching it sometimes. So your root chakra is red. It's at the base of your spine. And it's way more in depth than this. I'm just giving you kind of the basics, is where your basic needs are: your safety, security, stability, fears. So you have right above that, you have your sacral chakra, which is orange. So if you're also seeing a lot of the same colors, or you're feeling inclined to eat these fruits, I meant to say foods, but possibly fruits, or you're wearing those colors, a lot of times that's like significant of the energy you're needing to heal, or what you actually are healing at that time. You're usually drawn to the colors of what you need to heal, or what you're clearing, or what your energy is in. I didn't even look at what bracelets I put on today, but definitely a lot of like my bracelets are very feminine energies today. Very like soothing feminine energies today. But anyway, so your sacral chakra, this is any type of sexual stuff, sexual trauma, sexual conditioning, sexual beliefs, like sexual orientation, that type of stuff. But it's also like where that creative energy, that creative spark comes from. A lot of people aren't really in that energy right now because you're clearing traumas and things, and that's like your focus. Your solar plexus is above that. That's like yellow. That's like where and then like your okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Your solar plexus chakra, like I said, is yellow. This is like where your confidence, your self-esteem and stuff like that come from. Courage. Then you have your heart chakra, which is green, but also can be pink. It represents pink and green, but I usually see it as green. And this is areas, love in general, your heart being open, you being vulnerable, emotional, open to love, receiving love, anything kind of that type of connection related. Then you have your throat chakra, which is blue. Usually it represents like a darker blue. Lighter blues a lot of times are emotionally soothing and stuff. So if you're feeling drawn to like light blues, it's to soothe your emotions, but darker blue is actually to help you with expressing yourself. It's your self-expression, speaking your truth, saying how you feel, communicating your needs. For some people, it's also abrasively speaking in a way where it's not open, heart-centered. It's more like defensive. So a lot of times the energy is a little bit different. So you have your third eye. This is always like, I always see different colors for this, but the way I see it is more of like a purple violet color. Like it's like a indigo, like violet color, right? And this is where your intuition is. This is where your inner knowing is, your connection is, okay? For masculines, I feel like Spirit has shown me that they actually receive a lot of their spiritual downloads through the root chakra, so in their back. So when the masculine is kind of blocked from trusting his intuition, chooses to block himself from trusting his intuition, he often has lower back problems because he's not doing things that are aligned with him. You can be a feminine with lower back problems too. A lot of times if the feminine is having lower back problems, it's because there's basic needs and safety issues and fears that are stuck there. Same with masculine, but also that's what I'm saying. It's so much more complex than what I'm saying, but the masculine oftentimes receives spiritual downloads, third eye and root chakra together. The feminine most often receives spiritual downloads, third eye and heart chakra. So depending on where you're receiving it, you'll usually feel energy at both places at the same time. But this is like the center where the intuition, the inner knowing, your like spiritual connection. So people who have visions or like vivid dreams and stuff, oftentimes you'll realize you don't actually see it through your physical eyes. You almost see it. It's not really like an either, like they say, but we'll say it is, but it isn't. And then your top is the crown chakra. And this oftentimes is like purple, like the amethyst color, like purple. And that's like where your thoughts are. That's where like overthinking anything, knowledge wise, logic, any type of stuff like that. So you can have your chakras be like overactive or underactive. If they're blocked, it's oftentimes because there's energy sitting in there. So like this right now, like how my throat is like this, it's clearing out those times where I shut the fuck up when I really wanted to say stuff and I held myself back from speaking, or I said things sometimes where it's not that it wasn't true, it wasn't how I really felt, and I was doing it out of fear, defense mechanisms, stuff like that. So hopefully that kind of gave you a true, actual, whatever with your chakras. So a lot of you, that is what's going on. It feels like there's definitely stuck energy, and it feels like you guys are feeling almost like weighed down and really can't move forward because you're doing healing and you're clearing right now. And this has been going on. It's been going on for a while, but like actively, super actively right now for the last 2 or 3 weeks, which also means if you start paying attention, you'll start seeing how your eating habits will start shifting in one direction or the other, where you'll either eat more, you'll eat less, you won't be hungry, you'll feel starving. It's like one extreme or the other. It's usually not balanced. One extreme or the other, you're wanting to eat like specific foods a lot of times, and you'll also notice your sleep will change during these cycles too, depending on what you're working on. So you'll either be extremely fucking tired, want to sleep all the time, and then you're just sleeping for long periods of time, or sometimes you're actually tired, you can't sleep at all, and it's because your energy is tired, not your physical body is tired, or you just have like energy and you just can't sleep at all. And so usually when you have a lot of energy and you can't sleep at all, it's when you're in a period of time of doing outward stuff that's planning for the future. When you're very, very tired and you have a lot of like stuff going on, it's usually when you're dealing with a lot of energy in your body and emotional healing in your body. And it's overwhelming and exhausting as it's kind of like purging and transmuting the energy. With this Four of Raphael, it's like hard to explain what the fuck they're saying. So it's almost like some of you, it's like there's a gift of perspective that you're not seeing. Like, and they're saying it to me in those words like that. That's why I said it like that. It's almost like they're trying to, like, almost like somebody told you something and they literally gave you the answer, told you what to do. And it's like all you're doing is going into your mind and using logic instead of using your heart and listening to the message. It's like almost like this. It's not that you're refusing to see it, you're seeing it. And it's almost like you're blocking yourself from taking action to do it. There's another group where it feels like you're getting a lot of emotions from other people. And it's being conscious of what, I love how bright it just got when I'm talking about this. It just got really bright. Being conscious of, you guys see it like getting like super fucking bright. It just keeps like literally, there must be coming out on a cloud. I don't know if you could see it, but it's like in my fucking face. Like being aware of what's your thoughts, energy, and feelings and what's not. And this definitely feels more like the feminine, but it definitely could be for the masculine too. Like the feminine, where if you're getting a lot of like, if your energy is super open, you probably feel other people's stuff a lot, even when you're not in their presence. So it's being mindful when you're getting thoughts or you're getting emotions of like, is this truly how I feel? Is this actually mine? And if it's not how you truly feel, you can usually tell it's not yours once you have the awareness to it. But there's something with this that there is just very kind of heavy and kind of unclear and uncertain and kind of foggy. And it almost feels like you guys are kind of being blocked for a reason, and they're not like even giving me clarity on it. Like there's a blockage there for a reason. You'll get the truth when you need it. Like there's something that's being uncovered or unveiled to you, but it's not happening right now for a reason. They're not even wanting me to talk about anything besides that. Okay. Oof, hold on. These shifts have been, with the dizzy shit is driving me fucking nuts the last few weeks. Especially like the last like few days, week. so thirsty. With the Ace of Gabriel, you guys are breaking free, and in breaking free of conditioning very specifically and trauma, and you're coming out of cycles so you can start new cycles, but you're coming into your true self and empowered energy. And when they say like your non-false self, like coming out of your false self, and your false sense of identity, a lot of people have created these illusions around themselves, illusions around their feelings, illusions around their truth and their needs and their desires. And that kind of goes to that message I was saying earlier about how you're going to be getting like clarity or some type of information that's going to help you with seeing something you already know that you are refusing to see or lying to yourself about or whatever. And that definitely feels like relationships. This relates to this though, because this has something to do with your sense of self. And as you're getting clarity to this, it almost like simultaneously is like going hand in hand with this, because you're starting to see where you were making decisions and or you do make decisions out of trauma responses, defensiveness, fears, conditioning, like cycles and patterns that you weren't even aware of. It's like you knew you were doing stuff. Like if you choose shitty people for relationships, right? Like there's a conscious awareness you're choosing shitty people. And it's like, well, my parents were like that, so I'm in this cycle like my parents, you know, that's similar to my parents or something like that. But there was also like a really deeper level there with a deeper belief system or thought or something else below the surface that you might not have clarity to as of like this reading. This reading might actually be giving you the energy to trigger it for you to bring it up like within the next 2 or 3 days after you watch this. It's not after I record it, after you watch it. It's 2 or 3 days from whenever you watch this. And it should start coming up. It will start bubbling up for you. And you're going to start getting like this truth and starting to see who you are at your core, like who you truly are without all the shit that has been told to you and conditioned. And it's going to help you see something different where it feels like some of these cycles or something in your life, and it might be more than one thing, but it's the same cycle, just different patterns in it, where you're going to start seeing like the truth of your choices and behaviors almost like from a different perspective. And it's almost like you're going to realize, oh, I've known this all along. You just didn't really consciously like know it. You intuitively, spiritually know it. You just didn't like logically know it. Yeah. Is that it? Okay. Oh, I like it. We got success and improving health. So this is literally just extra validation in the same message about your clearing energy. Some of you guys might be feeling like scared of like health issues. Spirit is saying trust your intuition. And if you're needing clarity on if it's an actual health issue or it's an energy clearing or something like that, ask. You have to ask them. Like whoever you want to pray to, I don't give a shit who it is, you have to ask them for the answer. Like, I'm worried I'm having a health issue, or I'm worried this. Can you guys give me, like, can you let me know, like what I need to do, or do I have a health issue, and give it to me, the information to me in a way that I'm going to trust it and know that what you're saying is accurate. So, or if there is something wrong with me, like guide me to the right place, for help, treatment, answers, whatever it is. Like ask however you want to ask and whatever naturally comes to you, but you have to ask them in some way in order to receive the answer. Like you can't get an answer that you're not asking the question to. You have to ask them. But I get for some of you guys, like as you're clearing it, you're going to get the answer. I almost feel hesitant to say this, but I'm kind of being guided to, and only take this if it resonates with you. For some of you, it definitely does not feel like an actual medical thing, and you already intuitively know that. It's scary because of what you've been taught and conditioned to think. And it's almost like your intuition and your mind are like logically fighting, because as you're clearing energy, sometimes it does actually feel like something's wrong with you, but it usually goes away after a period, like a little bit, like it doesn't last long. And I'll tell you, one of the best things to do if you're trying to figure out like the intuition, or like if it's a medical thing or an energy thing, is close your mind. I usually go like this, like can't really see me, but I kind of like shake my, just like kind of shake, right? And I go, and I deep breathe, and I just kind of like, usually I stand up, but you could sit down and do it, it's fine. And I just feel my body. And you'll start realizing that whatever the fuck it is, it's almost always, well, I'm not going to say it's almost always energy. For me, it is. But you'll feel it. And if you can actually feel it, you'll usually feel it above your body. It won't feel in your body. I don't know why, like when you close your eyes, it almost like, I think it helps you connect to your energy more or something like that without all the outside human stimulation. And you can feel that. So anyway, I got big happy changes on the bottom. So there's definitely, I'm just getting like this huge energetic shift. We're already kind of in the middle of it. And it doesn't feel like this good, huge energetic shift. But, you know, after the storm is the rainbow. So, yeah. Okay. What was the deck that you all wanted me to pull from? This one they wanted me to pull from. This is that like ghetto ass, like stock cards that I made a deck out of. They told me spirit messages one day. I made this probably 3 or 4 years ago. They told me spirit messages one day and I just started writing all of them down. And then I just once in a while pull from this whenever they tell me to. That's a lot. I'm not doing all this. They're all like funky ways. I'm like, should I pull it? Okay, that one definitely wants to come out. Damn. That one flew the fuck out. Please forgive yourself and anyone in the past. Move on and move forward. You deserve better. Okay, we got get creative, paint, draw, or play some music, write a poem, song, or book. And that's really just about getting creative and doing whatever aligns with your energy and your creativity. This is the one that flew out. You're a spiritual being of love and light. It almost feels like some of you guys are kind of denying your connection to source spirit and like questioning kind of life and existence and stuff like that. And that's almost just like for the people who are feeling that way, like validation. Keep seeing this love begins card. All right, let's see what comes out. Material harvest. It's not coming out. Okay, we got material harvest and emotional withdrawal on the top. Got a lot of masculine cards. And then we got conflict and defeat in the waiting game. With the bottom, we got suffering and silence and hope. Mental conflict. A lot of crown chakra, heavy thought energy, yeah. Literally. I love this because like even after like your suffering and silence, the sun's there. You got the sun there. I almost just like when I looked at this hope card, I see this like feminine kind of in the middle, and it's almost like this masculine is seeing like this feminine as like this ray of hope or some shit like that. Like that's what just like quickly came to me. That's not the full message. That might just be for somebody specifically needing that. But it's just like you can't always see, you know, it's kind of like you can't always see the sun, you know, behind the clouds, but it doesn't mean the sun's not there. And that's obviously like an analogy, like it's metaphorical to, you know, what's going to happen for you in the future. And it's almost just like, it's almost like your intuition and your inner knowing says one thing, but everything outside of you just looks so different and fucking impossible. It almost looks like there's so many tasks or so many things that would need to like change or transpire in order for it to happen. But like you don't realize certain things. That's your like logical mind trying to like understand and trying to like justify or explain something that's not always logical. And it's like, trust your inner knowing. Like I don't even know how else to explain it. Like, trust your inner knowing, not the logical mind. The logical mind is not truth. Your inner knowing is truth. Your inner knowing is the only thing that's true. Like, your mind is just, it's not always accurate. It's just based off of memory and experiences, which is not always accurate because, you know, sometimes we think the worst of something because it reminds us of the past and then a completely different thing happens. You know what I mean? Which is funny because I bought this shirt like I actually looked online for it. I bought a shirt years and years ago. Not all those who wander are lost. And I like was gonna wear a different shirt today, and like almost like felt this energy like I had to wear it. And like as I just looked at the camera, I saw the light shining on it. I was like, okay. And I actually love this quote. And the reason why actually I was thinking about it this morning is because it can obviously have different meanings for everybody, but for the people who are kind of wandering around and not really following the crowd, like everybody thinks they're lost, everybody thinks they're kind of like there's something wrong with them. Everybody just kind of looks at them in a different way because you have this group of people that just all conform to society and they all just kind of do what they're told, right? And then I'm getting such weird deja vu energy right now, like really weird ass deja vu energy. Anyway, so like you have all that, right? And then you have the people, which I am one of those people that I like to call the rebels, which is we just kind of do what we want. We do what's aligned with us. We do what we want. We don't just try to fit in and conform to people. We do what we want. And so to me, it's very like metaphorical to that is like, but we're not lost. We're actually the ones who are found. Y'all are the fucking lost ones who are literally trying to find truth from the outside, from what people tell you, from books, from religion, from all these things, instead of within. And all the wanderers are the ones who are seeking truth, seeking answers, seeking clarity, seeking information, and they're getting it from the right people or themselves, not from all these like false fucking people and places, you know? So it's hard sometimes to break free of like your belief systems and things you've been kind of conditioned and trained to think like, and to think outside of that. But when you really connect to yourself and you stop denying your inner truth, like you will be able to get truth and answers, and is going to be different than other people. But that's okay. And it's funny because I just had this conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and I was just telling her, I was like, I don't think people like, I always feel very different than other people. I always have felt like that, but even more so now. And it's because I just see so much more truth to things, and I can feel intentions and energy even stronger. And I almost like can't even deal with the way the world is right now, if I'm gonna be honest. Like the way everybody, like I talked about this other day, is like everybody is like constantly posting for sympathy or fucking attention or all these things instead of like giving it to themselves. And my biggest fucking thing lately is entitled ass people, and they almost have this like entitled, like narcissistic attitude. And when you don't coddle them or give them what you want, they come at you and attack, or they attack your business, or they try to like fucking hurt you and shit. And it's not just me, they do it to other people too. And it's like, I got like a real like stick up my fucking ass for that shit right now. Like, you want to see some passion come out, like let's have a conversation about that, because you're gonna see me get spicy as fuck. But like, yeah, all that. And forgot the fucking point I was getting at with that. Literally lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, I was having a conversation with my friend, and I was just like, sometimes I feel mental because I can feel all these shifts. I can feel what we're collectively doing. I feel all the soul shit. I feel like I connect more to soul energy than human stuff. So when I'm disconnected from my soul energy, I actually feel like not myself. Like I feel just very uncomfortable and weird and stuff. I'm still me, but like not fully me. So, you know, I was just telling her, is like, you know, I can, like, when people are talking, like, I can feel your energy and I can feel different things, like, versus the words coming out of your mouth. And it's not always easy for me to be able to do things, which is why I just try to trust my intuition and just, like, I'll say what I need to fucking say and what people need to hear in the way they need to hear it, not worrying so much about saying the right or wrong thing in the human conditioning. But it's funny because I think a lot of people don't understand my energy gifts and the things that I experience and stuff like that. And they're always like, come at me like, oh, it's your own emotions. You're just projecting on other people. It's this and this. And it's so funny enough. I was hanging out with somebody a few days ago, and she smoked weed. I didn't even realize this. I didn't smoke. I don't really smoke. And she said something to me. She's like, oh, I could tell it hit you. Not from smoking in front of me, it was a vape. And she's like, every time I smoke weed with you, your energy shifts and you act like you're fucking high. And I was like, oh, you noticed that? And I thought it was like funny. And I was like, okay, so you do see when my energy is shift and shit. And she's like, yeah, she knows me really well though anyway. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, Okay, thank you. Like, it was finally nice to almost get the validation for people to see, like, how I'm affected by other people, like, being in their presence, but not even being in their presence. Because even when I was talking to her, I was getting hit with other emotions and energy, and I'm like, wait, this isn't even fucking mine. Like, it starts coming in and flooding me out of nowhere, and I'm like, wait, this isn't even mine. But I think for me, it was nice to kind of get that validation that I didn't even point it out to her. She pointed out to me. And it's funny because for some reason, when I'm around her, like, every time she fucking gets high, like, my whole energy, literally, you can just see me shift, my tone, the way I talk. And I almost didn't even realize it until she said it. And I was like, I literally feel like I'm high right now. And she's like, see, I told you. I was like, you stupid bitch. But joking around, obviously. But no, I don't know. Like, for me, it was just, I think it was nice having that validation because most people don't understand me. And it's sad. Like, ooh, I'm going to fucking cry. Like, it's hard sometimes because people don't understand me and they don't try to. They more so just go into their own mind of, oh, well, you're not really feeling that. You're not really this, or it's not really your intuition, or it's not this. And it's just like, it is. And I'm so sick of having to deal with just because you don't understand it. Why don't you just trust in me? Even if it doesn't resonate with you or you don't fully understand it, instead of sitting there and trying to tell me that I'm not what I am, and like, just because you don't believe it, why don't you just like actually fucking trust that what I'm saying is truth, even if your mind can't logically understand it? Like, I'm not a fucking liar. Don't make shit up. Like, you know, so for me, it's like one of the struggles I go through on top of other ones, but that's like one of the ones I seem to get hit with. And it's funny because I have random ass people come to my crystal store and trust me and like shit more than like people I know. It's so fucking irritating, but whatever. It's my own shit to work through, my own stuff to work through. I don't know. I just felt like sharing it. So maybe somebody else needs to hear that or goes through that in a different way and needs it. It's hard when you're really in tune. It's not hard when you're really in tune. It's hard explaining a spiritual thing to a human who's not open to their spiritual side, because even if they can feel that you're telling them the truth and they know it's truth, their mind literally will repel it and block it because they're scared of trusting what they know in their intuition, because their logical mind, the ego, the trauma doesn't want to believe it because it's so different than the conditioning. There's almost like this like conflict in energies and stuff. So anyway, okay, we got material harvest, emotional withdrawal. This feels like some of you guys trying to figure out money shit or something you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to manifest, or whatever you want, whatever your desire is, your dream, manifestation, whatever fuck word. You're trying to get information on, you're trying to get clarity on whatever. Spirit's saying like, you gotta like be patient with it. It's going to take time to get clarity and answers, but take this time in this period where it's not here to like, internally reflect on what you're feeling and why. Like, take this time to really go within and really get to know yourself and your emotions, and you're going to see some of your blockages and just your perceptions and stuff. With this conflict and defeat and the waiting game, this kind of relates to this, but it also feels totally separate too. It feels like this like lack of patience because you're not getting what you want, and it feels like it's been taking forever. And I'm going to give the same message I gave a few weeks ago because they're telling me to, and whoever it is didn't see it or needs that extra message, which is, how long have you been in alignment with your energy and actively working toward this goal? So like the one they gave me last time to explain, I'm going to say it again, is like a relationship. If you're wanting like a relationship that's healthy, where you're both showing up for each other and all this stuff, one, are you showing up for yourself in the same way you're asking somebody else to show up for you? And two, are you showing up for people in the way that you're wanting it for yourself? Also, are you making choices to be in relationships with people who align with that? Or are you making choices to be in a relationship to avoid discomfort or loneliness or fear or all this stuff? Are you making choices to be in relationships with people who align with fully showing up for you and what you want? And if not, or if so, how long have you actually been actively doing that in that energy to only allow in relationships that are that way? And so you haven't been waiting as long as you think, because you haven't been doing the work that aligns with that goal. You've been saying you want it, but not actually, taking the behaviors and actions and energy and emotions and working toward it in that way. So for some of you, that's what it is. For some of you, it's almost this fear of like you're gonna lose out on something, and it's almost like you're doing impulsive shit out of fear. That's not gonna help it come any sooner. All you're gonna do is chase it away more. You have to be in alignment. When I say being in alignment, because they actually told me to talk about this earlier and then I got busy and then I forgot, so we're gonna talk about it now. Okay, so to be in alignment, basically it means, what is my goal? What is my dream? What is my desire? What are my feelings, needs, everything, right? Are my actions, behaviors, thoughts, and all that stuff matching everything? Is everything matching? If I'm saying that I want I want healthy friendships, am I talking to people who are unhealthy for me? If I'm saying that I'm wanting, a job, they always say the bank job. I have no idea why, but it's always the job I get for a bank, right? Like, if you want a job at a bank, are you taking jobs at a bank or financial institute or something that has specifically to do with that specifically has to do with the financial stuff or what you want? Where you're going and working at like a vet that has literally nothing to do with the job field you want to be in, because you're just taking a job to take a job out of fear instead of waiting a day or two or a fucking week, 5-7 days to see if you actually get the job you want. And that's the thing, is a lot of people haven't been being patient and actually sitting in the energy they're supposed to. They're going into fear. They're trying to like rush forward with stuff. They're trying to control stuff. They're thinking like, okay, because I'm not having the energy or motivation for this, I'm going to try to force myself to do it, or there's something wrong. No, if you're not having energy or motivation towards something, it's because you're not supposed to be doing it at this time. You might not understand why, but there's a reason you're not. And maybe your focus is supposed to be on taking care of your health or taking care of your emotions or your physical body or, your relationship with yourself. Like, you might in your mind want to be doing something, but in reality, what you need to be doing is what your body and energy are saying to you. So are you, when your words come out and you're saying them, are they aligning with how you really feel? That's one of those ways, is, am I speaking my full truth and how I really feel? Or am I saying things out of fear, out of projection, out of rejection, out of any of that shit? Or my behaviors, my actions, and my words aligning with what I want and my truth? And that's pretty much what it is. It's not about we're getting into alignment where it's like a one-time deal. It's continually doing things that align with our truth on a regular basis and not doing things outside of that, not doing things out of fear, not doing things out of conditioning, not doing things out of expectation, like doing what actually works for us and what we need to do for us. And to get like an end goal, yeah, you have to be in alignment with that, but that really just means you have to be prepared and ready and have all the tools you need and have all of the blockages and heaviness that wouldn't give you a solid foundation released, so you can have a solid foundation. Basically what it is anything that would create a crack in your foundation, or is tools that don't relate to old information, old things you used to use that are no longer helpful, need to be released and removed. And then you get the proper tools, the proper information, so you have the foundation, so you can work through kinks whenever, stuff happens for what you want, and you can have what you want for a solid foundation where it's lasting, it's good, and it's something that sticks with you. It's something that you really desire. That's what it is. So for some of you, that the other thing I'm getting with this conflict and defeat, it's kind of the thing I was saying about like trusting your intuition, your intuition versus what your logical mind is trying to explain, understand, or whatever. The fairies wanted to come out before when I sat down. They're like, calm, God, I can't talk. Come to me. And I'm like, they're calling me, come to me. All right, let's see. Celebration. Get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. It's time to go out and dance and play. An invitation could be on the way. Some of you, that's literal as fuck. Like, there's gonna be some type of like opportunity or offer is something coming to you, not necessarily a literal invitation. It could just be like like something being given to you, like for an event, for a date, for you to go like move to a new place or open something like that, like some type of offer, some type of invitation, thing like that. And then we got the new beginnings card with it. It's something that you guys have been, this just kind of feels like confirmation, validation of what your intuition's been saying. Like there's going to be like a rebirth or like a new beginning for something that you've been working toward and you've been desiring and wanting. Some of you could be a baby because I see that. Oh, I love this. The Fairy Queen of Light comes to shed love and light into your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. But is that not the same ass message I said about the love and light thing and the hope and, what was the card? The hope and the conflict, or no, the hope and suffering and silence. The same kind of, it's like the same type of message with the fucking sun, you know, with the clouds shining in my damn face. All right, I'm going to pull from Osho, Zen, and then I'm done. This one was like kind of want to be pulled from too. I gotta eat some food because I'm kind of hungry. You guys might be feeling like you're getting tested a lot right now, but and you probably are. If you feel like you're being tested a lot right now, you probably are. Ooh, the celebration card, which is the same as it. We literally just got the other celebration card. Yeah. Try your hardest to just stay strong and true to what it is you want and you desire. The change card, I don't know if you saw that one flipped out upside down. You want me to take these or no? All right, hold on. I'm so thirsty. Some of you are needing to take time and space, excuse me, from other people. The schizophrenia card to me is oftentimes this conflict, and I love it because you got the root chakra and the heart chakra, right? And I was talking about clouds earlier, so I love when like the same type of shit comes out that I'm talking about. Is like you might need to take time by yourself and go within and to help kind of give you clarity and see something from a higher perspective, like seeing something different than you have been. Like, I know I've already said this, like I feel like a million times, but it's like some of you are going to like fear and like doing impulsive fear things instead of like going from your heart. And it's like, you already know this. And it's like, it's almost like this inner child, like impulsive energy, wanting to go to something from the past or wanting to go to something you know is not good for you. Trust in what your heart is saying, okay? Trust in your heart. And they're saying it is different from the past. It's different than the past. And you know it's different than the past because your intuition is showing you it's different. Your visions are showing you it's different. You intuitively know the energy you're feeling about this person or situation is not the same as somebody from the past. Like you already know these things. Trust them. We got celebration, friendliness, and change. So this is literally like, I'm dead ass serious, the same message about the celebration and invitation. It's almost like somebody's going to, first, I just keep getting like, ask you on a date. Like, so some of you guys, it's like somebody's going to ask you on a date or they're going to ask you to do something with them, or there's something like, I don't know, something you've been wanting, like a relationship or just something like that is like, it's coming for you when it's supposed to, but it's coming for you. And it's like, just something like you're going to be really like happy and excited about. Like it's just, and I love how we have the rain. It's like the rain after the storm. They're celebrating, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like this cleansing of all the old stuff. And it's going to be something that's very like balanced, like just very balanced, reciprocated. Just, it's like two old souls, like, you know, coming together. Like, we got the change card. We got the yin and yang in the middle of this. This to me, I get this huge ass like collective shift and change. And it's almost like this energy, when you come into this, it's like a bunch of, it almost feels like a bunch of like twin souls are going to kind of come together, like old souls, twin souls, whatever one it is for you. Twin souls to me is more of a romantic thing. Sometimes old souls kind of, I say old souls, that's not, I don't mean your old souls literally old, but it actually could be. Twin souls have old souls too, but it's some of you, the old souls feels like kind of like a friendship blossoming, partnership, like this almost feels work related. Like you're going to be doing like a business with somebody or collaborating with them in a business aspect, and it's two people that are just going to click, that are doing business together. Then you have the other group, and like you guys might go to like some type of business type event, or you might go on something to get information for whatever your project is you're going to do. Then there's the other group where it's like the twin souls, where you guys like instantly connected when your eyes met and you met. Like you just instantly connected, and without even words, just instant connection. And I just keep hearing like date, like somebody's going to offer you like an invitation to go on a date or something. And when these things start taking place, it's going to energetically shift collective stuff. And all the people who lost hope or faith in these type of real true things that are possible, 100 million, 1,000, quadrillion % possible, said that all funky, but you know what I mean? You're going to help inspire other people who have been stuck for a long time. No, I'm not allowed to say that. Okay. You're going to help people who are stuck. I'll talk about when I'm allowed to talk about it, because I've been getting this kind of with the collective energy with something. You're going to help make big changes and shifts. And they just said the quote to me, which is one of my favorite quotes. I have it hanging up at the shop. It says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And people, are always like, oh, one person can't change the world. Fuck yeah, they can. Because one person being them and doing something, you meet another person who you inspire to do that. And all the people you meet, one person meets thousands of fucking people. And those thousands of people, they help another 1,000, and then those thousands, and it just multiplies. That's why when one person makes one person angry, it can multiply to fucking thousands and thousands of people. It works the same way in a positive aspect. We're just too conditioned to think it's not that way. We've experienced too many traumas or a lot of pain to not think it's possible, except for the people connected to their truth. Because if you're connected to intuition and truth, you actually know exactly what I'm saying is true. So yeah, it's going to bring a bunch of big shifts and changes and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope that this helps. I hope you guys all have an awesome day.